There are a variety of body development exercises that my sensei preferred. This is five that I think are core. Um, the first is shizentai, which means standing naturally. Um, all of these exercises have some complexity. I'm going to try to explain them in detail as we move on, but I wanted to do a brief rundown to start with. Shizentai means standing naturally. It's how we stand to receive jujutsu attacks. And it's sitting in your soft tissue, basically. You bend your knees enough and your elbows and just keep your frame unmoving and feel everything else and how malleable and movable the rest of your body is. This was the practice that transformed my own jujutsu and kenjutsu. From this practice, I came to feel the body as a whole thing rather than as things being levered over joints. And it was simply standing like that. The second major exercise is shiko, which comes from sumo. There's a few sumo exercises in here, and these are very old. And again, there's a lot of complexity that you can go into here. But this is to take that sense of the whole body developed in shizentai and begin to move it without using your muscles so much. Closing and opening joints, feeling gravity moving through your soft tissue. And this is the exercise where I could begin to see what movement that didn't begin as muscular contraction felt like. It's primarily focused, as you can see, in the lower body, a squat. But the inclusion of the upper body and especially the waki of the shoulder blades and their involvement in movement was revelatory. The third is teppo, which means guns, also a sumo exercise. It looks much more like pole pounding in the way that sumo wrestlers do it. But this is to develop the lines in the body from the hand to the feet, and to develop a sense of structure so that your body doesn't collapse when it's pushed. I think Sokaku's father had a lot of sumo practice, and Hisa Takuma, who was my own sensei's first teacher before he moved to Hokkaido to study with Tokimune Soke, also had a sumo background. And I find it really useful. It's the primary way that we do. I have friends, Tai Chi friends, and they do like push hands, partner training for receiving power, and that's the main way we do that. Suburi, as we've already discussed, is a whole body exercise again, and so we're taking the intelligence learned in the previous three exercises and trying to move the whole body as one thing to a purpose, cutting. And again, I'm doing these quite slowly here. I do all of these exercises at different speeds. And I hesitate to speak much about them simply because every time I go into them in depth, I learn something completely new and unexpected in all of these exercises, which is why I think they're the core body development exercises. They are an endlessly giving source of physical intelligence. Bushi hoko, the last one, is a coordination of all of the previous sense of movement. Literally means warrior's walk, and it involves the moving of the entire right side forward and then the entire left side forward. But there is a lot of complexity going on in the center line. It's really about ringing and unringing the center line of your body rather than swinging around in circles. And so getting control of your joints, especially the hip joints and the chest, which don't look like they are so involved in this movement, but in fact they are central to it. um, is a key gateway that leads to a lot of interesting sensations, I guess you would say, when we start doing kata. So this is just a brief overview of these 5 exercises. I'm going to try and explain them in much more depth in the next couple of days. Hope you're all doing well.